Global climate is changing. Most of the warming of the past century is due to human activities. Some types of extreme weather are increasing. Ice is melting on land and sea level is rising. A recent Gallup poll reflects that 25% of the American public dismisses climate change altogether. An additional 36% are undecided. So if you put these all together, what that means is that the number of people who are concerned about climate change are far outnumbered by those who are not. The theme of this week's studio talk is expanding the climate narrative. And for this program, we've invited Professor Barbara Eckstein, Eric Damman from the Climate Narrative Project, and Sarita Zaleha, a studio artist whose recent work explores climate change on a very personal level.
So I created an interactive quilt, which on the quilt is the graph of global temperature increases over the last 100 years. And then participants get inside the quilt, and there are sensors that are programmed to turn an electric blanket on. So viewers are actually experiencing what's visualized in the graph.
Our goal with the Climate Narrative Project is to use storytelling and interviews and blogging as a way to approach and learn about regenerative ag and urban ag and food policy here in Iowa City and the Iowa region, specifically related to climate change.
We created a digital map of Iowa that's county searchable, and it provides the ability of users to share severe weather stories, both historical ones and contemporary ones, with the option as well to, through their own initiative, use the other links on the map to pursue other kinds of information.
Why are you choosing to do the project in the particular way that you have decided to do it?
One thing is I have a particular skill set that is visual arts, and so I want to use that towards this thing that it concerns me.
I was identifying a certain disconnect between data and then what's actually happening. We can't look at a graph and then really feel emotionally affected by it. So I was really thinking about ways of emotionally connecting people to the reality of climate change and global warming.
What do you base your choices on editing, on editing or choosing what to present, based on what the information you're gathering?
One common question that I get with my project is, how do I choose what names will be embroidered? And I didn't want to make it, only the most deadly hurricanes list, or embroideries of only the worst ones, or only, because I think even if only one person died, it's still somebody is one person, and that matters a lot.
I'm getting a lot of scientific information, or I'm getting from folks who are permaculture, who use scientific means to evaluate the diversity and vibrancy in their soil.
So the folks who are public partners have been collecting data about the weather, in the case of one gentleman, for the National Weather Service for many decades. And so the National Weather Service wants data, they want numbers. And we're interested in that, but we want them to tell the human stories. So there are those kind of numbers too. 3 people died and 75 were injured and 3,000 were displaced and so on. So who are those people? Tell those stories.